Hey guys, welcome back to Maxcast, Dawn of War Unification. Today I have another 1 vs 1 view on Fata Morga. On the northern side playing Eldar we have aveend. And on the southern side playing Salamanders we have Айсура. So one of the games Айсуra sent in, which I'm looking through currently. This is the last one I'm looking through. We have Earth or aveend as Eldar, going for the most standard opener there is for Eldar. Aspect portal, second builder of course, generator, and 2 guardians before fleet of foot. And on the other side we have a very greedy opener from Айсура, going for forge into double generator, Prometheum power generator, into 3 scouts. So like nothing really to show for except for maybe some snipers, I guess, if he goes for sniper training, or he's absolutely madman and rushing tier 2, I guess. Not really sure. He could also go for, of course, thunderfire cannons with the forge. Let's see how this turns out in the end. Getting some Dark Reaper, also not very surprising. With the generator you can get up to 2 Dark Reapers relatively early after getting your first listing post. Let's see if he does so, or if he tries to go for the good old Fossier, for example, could also work. No, double Dark Reaper it is. That's all fine and dandy. And yeah, the early game is relatively quiet as nobody's really super aggressive, even using the first Dark Reapers to capture. So this is a very economy focused opener. Same of course for Айсура, which I hope he will use his power to upgrade. Okay, he goes for shotguns actually. Shotguns. These are very, yeah, look at the cost for the power, so that's why he did go for 2 generators, I guess. Yeah, still upgrading a point is nice. On the other side, okay, 2 Dark Reapers into Farseer. I like, or did he switch up his mind? 1. Where's the second? Okay, he switched his mind, I guess. He can go for the second Dark Reaper after all. Go for Farseer. I like the idea of Farseer because of the very tanky Tech Marines. If they are getting aggressive, she can do some work. Actually now going for the Dark Reapers, interestingly enough. Could go for some Dark Reaper Exarchs, but yeah, standing back and playing defensively are both now. Getting even bionics now for the scouts. I think it's still 1, 2, 3 scouts. You can get up to 5 scouts for Salamanders, that is. Dark Reaper here. Trying to... Not sure if you're actually going to get into range with these shotguns against Dark Eldar player, if they are microing correctly with their long range and everything. And also the model is really expensive with the shotgun. Like 60 requisition, 25 power for each model you take down. But yeah, okay, against Guardians, sure. I think he would win against Guardians anyway. There we see now the Mind War against the very slow and expensive builder. Very nice, very nice. And here, yeah, not sure if he's going to get into range anytime soon. It's not really, okay, nah, getting invited actually here. That's kind of funny to see. This is an upgraded point. Yeah, if you get in range once, this is kind of annoying, but still, yeah, you will not be able to run away easily. Okay, the Farseer still smacking this listing post where these scouts getting mowed down by a handful of different units. The 2 should be clicked soon-ish. Okay, he wants to get a Thunderfire cannon first. On the other side, how's the resources for Eldar line? Not much. He's like putting a lot of stuff early game. This is a generator in a very peculiar place. But yeah, reinforcing now, even getting the Exarch on these. Will kill this scout squad if he's continuing to do so. There's a second scout squad waiting, but still, yeah, the shotgun range isn't great. Not sure if you could like trade well against them if you would go for sniper rifles, for example. Not really sure. 1 point not killed, but she's now turning over here for, I'm not sure. You could use a Psychic Storm over here. It could work. But yeah, tier 2 is started now. Thunderfire Cannon is here. Should maybe took the other way if in hindsight, but yeah. Thunderfire Cannon should be able to stabilize, should allow Айсура to stabilize against these hordes of Eldar. Not Dark Eldar. These are not edgy elves. Another generator over here. Needs to upgrade this point then. And another generator. Okay, this is one generator too much, I think. But who am I to judge? We'll take down this point momentarily. And the Thunderfire Cannon is in range, and this is a juicy shot. Damage is okay, but what is most important, of course, is the disruption. Tier 2 can be started by aveend/Earth right now. Tier 2 is almost done for Айсура. Upgrading these points, getting this thing. Okay. So stabilizing is Айсура over here. We have 98 and 40, 98 and 50. Okay, not much different. Getting now some targeters and a furnace. So what is he going to get in tier 2? Getting the Death Watch veteran immediately. Very interesting. You can get this strike from him. Yeah, the Thunderfire Cannon is vehicle medium, so he can sustain quite a lot of punishment early on. Okay, now I have the Scout Sergeants. He could go now for the grenades, because for the Scouts the Sergeants actually carrying their very lethal flamey grenades. Scout Devastator Sergeant. We have actually this time the take and hold victory enabled, and thus aveend has the clock ticking, but not for long. Here it is, the Death Watch veteran with his cool looking sword and everything. So he comes around. As I said, has this strike. It says also has melter bombs, but need to be researched first, I guess. The anvil. And the Force Commander here as well, so some commander action. Force Commander could go to the Scouts. The Scouts could also be infiltrated if he wants to. No, he goes for absolutely commander stuff with the chaplain. Only thing missing, of course, is the librarian afterwards. And you have like all the 4 tier 2 commanders that the Salamanders can field. The commander building would be welcomed if just for the commander upgrades, if you have so many. Let's go for actually land speeders, okay. Gullprobe infiltration as well. Are there infiltrated stuff on the other sides? Not yet. Getting a falcon, getting some more vehicle pop damage, and yeah, both eco upgrades for Eldar. Being a greedy Eldar is Ever's Earth. The falcon will be able to just land here without any issues. There's not the scouts advanced or heavy weapon training done, so there are no rocket launchers over there. There of course is Death Watch veteran and could be multi-melter land speeders over here, but for now the Falcon is more or less unchallenged over here. Second Falcon is probably on the way. Is there a melter bomb being finished? Not yet. The Falcon has enough mobility to just run away, and Dark Reapers are also trying to get in position. A Dreadnought of all things is also now here. The Dreadnought is the first thing that is an issue, I guess, for our Eldar here, because after only the Falcon has a minor anti-vehicle over here. And the question is now, do we not have any special weapons for the commander? They can get melters. They can get first flamers and then melters, combi melters. The Assault Marines are now here. I'm always kinda interested in how to see how people will make Assault Marines in tier 2 work, because for me they are mostly a tier 1 and early tier 2 unit, and not a unit that you would get in this kind of situations. Now even Warp Spiders are here. The Chaplain, being annoying as he is, he has an active ability to increase the damage of a squad, or the squad he is attached to, not sure how this is working in particular. Death Watch veteran will go down. Ever though showing his strength in repairing his vehicles, it's like I know it's mostly from him that he is always up to task. You see no actual repairs going in. Oh, now that I say it, from Ayzura over here, the assault marines with melter bombs, the that's what Fletchman got killed. Warp spiders going out again, coming in, coming out. You have 2 jumps with them. Still no special weapons apart from shotguns over here. Fire dragons being a bit too close for their liking. Melter bombs killing 1 falcon over here. Only 1 squad of assault marines, so there will be not another one. The dreadnought going for double fire like the inferno cannon and their wrist mounted flamer, so a lot of flames of course. They get very good against all this infantry. The warp spiders are getting yeah, not the best position over here. And yeah, you always need to have jumping troops with them, especially if you fight assault marines and land speeders. You need to be careful with the position. They cannot, I think, head into a falcon craft tank. There's the third squad of warp spiders. They also have their anti-vehicle bombs, but only in tier 3 and onward. This is like a lot of very tanky flamey marines being very aggressive against these poor Eldar. Eldar over here. We now have the weapon training done. Wasn't I seeing it? Yeah. So you can get now some missile launches against these vehicles instead of just bomb rushing them with melter bombs. Scout infiltration now done as well. So this is now the complete upgrade tree for the scouts being done. I would highly recommend to get some more scouts then. For now, also adding a 2nd squad of assault marines with melter bombs, so he could in theory kill this falcon captain relatively easily, and slowly but surely just overwhelming the Eldar, I guess. But this is 1 squad of warp spiders being unchallenged over here, but you cannot see the scouts. You would need to have the Farseer around. She is very close, so she doesn't look that far, even though the name that would suggest so. In comes the assault marines, probably throwing a melter bomb. There you go. Falcon crafting almost done. He could and should jump. Dark Reapers not being used. Yeah, but this is very micro heavy for the Eldar, as there's like green flamey marines everywhere, every which way. Fighting in this LP2s is always a bit dangerous, but yeah, the economy should be really poor for Earth over here. It's actually not, because of all the upgrades. He's in absolutely tip-top shape. I would have thought because of these killed listing posts this would be very bad, but it is actually not. He's more or less swimming in money still. So this is an absolute grind fest from both sides over here. This infiltrated scout just casually walking by these warp spiders and slowly but surely thinning out these sorry, marines, I guess. Yeah. In the end, more or less all marines died over here. We have only 2 population and 4 against a 10 and 6 over here. Getting another falcon. He has enough resources to start tier 3 actually, but needs to get his points back first to stabilize his economy, I would say. Getting a Harlequin for detection, I guess. And on the other side, tier 2 is done, but not tier 3. Not even started. He has a lot of power to spare. Needs to upgrade his point, his singular point, which is not upgraded yet. And yeah, Dreadnought is absolutely perfect. Perfectly fine power sink. Yeah. A lot of anti-infantry still on the Eldar side, not a lot of anti-vehicle. You could go for the good old vanilla anti-vehicle, which would be Wraith Lords with what are they called? Right lances. Or you could even get a support platform over here on the top with the D cannon, for example, would also help quite a lot. I mean, yes, these land speeders could go in and assault marines, but if the assault marines use their melter against the turret, they are not using it against the falcon, I guess. A lot of web brigades. You can get the web brigade regeneration aura in these kind of defensive situations. You would see if it would, or he got it already, you see it. These are regenerating relatively quickly. He's doing a really defensive position with 4 falcons over here. You see, get started tier 3. Sadly not. Sadly not. He's getting different units and different upgrades, but I think a valuable asset would go to tier up a bit. Now it's a bit stalemate here over here, but we have some action on this side. Some infiltrated scouts with snipers and missile launchers. Mostly snipers, but some missile launchers are enough to kill this point. And if you kill this point, this is a lot of economy going down. It's like minus 12. Not regarding the upgrades. Even now the four Falcons coming in. Warp spiders afterwards with a lot of mobility being used, but the question is now, can you take down this position? The warp spider, one warp spider squad losing morale, the second squad is being focused down. The snipers doing absolutely great work over here, but they're for some reason focusing on these tanks with the snipers, which is not the right place to play. He's focusing, however, with the launchers, which is good. The Dreadnought needs to go into melee against this, will do a lot more damage, but the Falcon, needs to go out in tandem with that. A lot of anti-infantry guns focus down on these Dreadnoughts, and they just don't care. Basically, the Warp Spiders need to focus the Scout Marines, whereas the Falcons need to focus the Dreadnoughts. In comes 2 squads of Fire Dragons coming in. A bit late to the party, I guess. After almost all the Falcons did go down. As I said, the Wraith Lord with Bright Lens would go a long way here for some longer range anti-vehicle, because the Fire Dragons of course have the issue of their low range. It can be mitigated if they like jump into a Falcon, but for now you can see the Dreadnought can also just try to focus them in melee. But we still have a lot of units for Eldar and not so much units for the Salamanders. Is there a tier upgrade planned or anything? No, not now. More and more Dreadnoughts. One squad of Fire Dragons actually being annoying, killing some economy. I like that. And yeah, both players kind of decided that tier 2 is a cool tier and they want to stay. Also, you need to get a little more closer to these Scout Marines over here. Or is she not detecting? She's not detecting. I'm totally mixing this up. Sorry guys. You need a Harlequin, I guess. Wow. Warlocks. Warlocks is the other thing that would detect, but I do not see any Guardians over here. And the Dreadnoughts is just by pure muscle, I guess, and the lack of detection against all these scouts is also paying dividends over here. A lot of resources here. No tier 3 in sign yet. Also not getting this point back yet. Fire Dragons also actually decapped it. Tier 3 also. Look at the power. Holy moly. You can get a second requisition upgrade for Eldar in tier 2. And he totally should do so. Yes, he's busy reinforcing everything, but holy moly, this is a lot of power. Could get, as I said, Wraith Lord is similar in cost. You could think of a Dreadnought, very high on power, low on requisition. If you would stop reinforcing for just a moment, you could have gotten like 2 Wraith Lords out. What is he building? More and more Falcons. I do not think that Falcon will seal the deal over here, but he is still getting them. As I said, Wraith Lord would be better here. Harlequin, of course, for detection, very much needed. And in comes more and more vehicles, and he struggles against all these vehicles. He's struggling against these infiltrated guys, yes, but there's a solution inside with the Harlequins if placed correctly. But against these vehicles, I do not see how he's actually getting the vehicles down with just Falcons. As I said, Falcons can deal mild anti-vehicle, which would probably be enough against these Razorbacks, but and was enough for the land speeders. But a fully packed Dreadnought with their thousands and thousands of HP, and also some busy tech marines over here, will not cut it. As dangerous as Warp Spiders and Dark Reapers look, their anti-vehicle capabilities are very limited. Spamming some more Fire Dragons could also be the way, but yeah, Fire Dragons not being fire immune. some more. Where's these infiltrated scouts? Are there still infiltrated scouts or are they all dead? A lot of dead units for both players. In comes now again the veteran over here. Really looking forward to see his strike called in. Not sure. For now he's just eating a lot of damage. He cannot be attached to the squad, so he will always be able to be focused. But yeah, just tying down these fire dragons is also being worth quite a bunch. Yeah, and as I said, some turrets. If you stand in a defensive position, like at any faction, and you have a lack in anti-infantry or mostly anti-vehicle, you can always try to get some turrets out. They aren't that expensive, and if you put them a bit out of the way on these cliffs behind in this position, the enemy would really need to go in very deep to take them down, which gives you time actually to try to defend them. Still 2000 power. Tier 3 is halfway done. Tier 3 timing is, I think, a bit gone now that he has lost so many units. He has a lot. He still has a lot of units, but he also needed to reinforce so much. More and more fire dragons being built. And as I said, get a Wraith Lord over here. Just even challenging these dreadnoughts in melee. Yes, the Wraith Lord will lose in melee, I guess, but stop burning me. Even the Wraith Lord in melee would probably lose against the dreadnought, but still would be good enough for the most part. Inferno Cannon actually paying off big time over here, because yes, you have anti-vehicle squads, but I just burn them, so so you lose your morale relatively quickly with all this flaming damage. One singular fire dragon trying to take it down over here, but I think the writing's on the wall. The economy is super poor for Айсура over here, but he's just keep pumping units and the right units in that. The economy looks a bit better for Eldar, but what does it use you if you still using warp spiders against dreadnoughts? This is something that will never work. Yeah, as I said multiple times now, I think Wraith Lords would be good, or even tier 3, which he is now, for these what are they called again? Shadows? What are they called again? Shadow Spectres. Shadow Spectres are an excellent anti-vehicle unit because they have long range, they can jump, and they are infiltrated when they are not firing. So the Shadow Spectres, now that he's here tier 3, would have been an absolute amazing choice. So would be any flyer now, the Helmlock Wraith Fighter, for example, the other fighters, also nice. And yeah, if he would be a totally nice use for his power, that is. Scouts still being annoying over here, they could even decap it if they want to. Some assault marines being built. Are they on auto build? I guess. He's just spamming in units, just willing it in, I guess. Just with the pure stubbornness of the Space Marines over here. There are some tier LP3 actually for some Bright Lances. Sorry. So this is some anti-vehicle, but yeah, it will take a while. Yeah, Falcon's looking back, but yeah, you see the damage, the anti-vehicle damage. It's way too slow. By the time this thing is going down, all your army died. Well played, aveend. And yeah, as I said, I pointed out what fire said. So he just wants to burn the Xenos, I guess. Burn Eldar babies. Oh, stop. Yeah, as I said, Wraith Lords 2 would have make this look a bit different. So would be an earlier tier 3 into Shadow Spectres. But yeah, I think a very entertaining game. As I generally think that games with a lot of flamers involving salamanders are always fun to watch, I guess. But yeah, I already told you most what I wanted to tell you. GG's to the players, and as usual guys, thanks for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye!